Olympians. I made another little video just about the beginning of the Moderato section of the first Caprice by Rode. A lot of things that we learned this past Olympics, also the previous one, that can really be helpful here and help me a lot to improve my opening. First thing is just about the bow stroke. I chose to do this, as you'll see in the video, like pretty much off the string, and you can also practice it on the string martelé. I just couldn't get really things crispy enough that way, so I chose to do everything off the string. And so the first way I practiced it actually was without trills, and to do everything with that sort of crispier stroke, which has got a lot of collé in it. So I could get a lot of articulation, a lot of clarity in the bow. There's a lot of string crossings in this one, so making sure that you're preparing your arm to move to the next level when that happens. Then there's tons of trills in this one. I worked on trills a ton this past year. Thanks a lot to Nathan in doing all the trill drill stuff. I did that every day for like, I don't know, 6 months, and my trills have gotten a lot better because of it. So I highly recommend you make that part of your regular routine if it's not already. Still got a ways to go, but it was super helpful in this one. So that's a great warm-up. Also, just the paw rolling, sort of fast tapping of the fingers is a great way, I think, to warm up the fingers for what you've got to do in this one. And then building up the trills, one of the things that helps a lot for me is finger preparation in this one. Nathan talks about that a lot, and it's super helpful here. So for example, even that first measure, when I cross from the lower string to then the D string for violas, I've already got all 3 fingers ready for, so that I'm always planning in advance and setting that hand block in advance so that I can be ready to trill quickly. There's a lot of repetition actually, so there's not that many groups that you have in this opening phrase to practice. So if you practice like the third measure, so as soon as I've got my trill for A and G, and then I have my F sharp ready, and then the same thing when I cross, I've got my fingers ready. You're coming from a second finger, so there's a lot of hopping back and forth from the second finger moving around. But trying to get it ready as soon as possible. Sometimes my finger's coming a little bit slower than I'd like it to go. And then one special case that we have here too is in the 5th bar of the Moderato. We have this big shift. I do a 3. It's going to be A for violas and E for violins. So using that trick Nathan taught us also earlier in the Olympics, where you're shifting up, just making a decision about how you're going to get there. I chose to shift with my first finger on the G string, first finger on the D string for violins. My first finger goes up to E on the G string, or B for violins. And then I've got my third finger ready then for 5th position on the A string, or the E string for violins. So in slow motion, and I practice that, kind of progressively getting faster. So first really hearing the note, and then making it faster. Wasn't always in tune, unfortunately, but if I had a little more time, maybe. That helped me a lot with that particular shift. And then also, again, having that second finger ready when you shift. So it's already ready for the shift. And then I get my first finger over for the next note as soon as possible. And then, just building the trills up too, so that you can play, no trill, add 1 note, and then when you're actually playing it, to just feel like an impulse, that you're just doing one fast tap. If you've trained it, I think, with things like trill drill and with building up the trill slowly or note by note, then it's a lot easier to do. And then the last thing, just in the chords at the end, I tried to do like the 3-note at the same time trick. Then I just broke that one because it was the last note that I was playing. But yeah, you could do those thinking about either breaking them or 2 plus 2, and then maybe 3 at the last. And making sure you're setting the fingers before you move the bow for both of those. Anyway, hope that's helpful. See you next time.